Summer had come to an end, even though there were some students who wished the summer could be last a bit longer, but there were some students who actually had wished and even looking forward to go back to school. Among the students were a girl by the name Alexis. Alexis is a popular girl at the school. She is very outgoing, and she doesn't hesitate to speak out what is on her mind. But there's one thing that she hasn't told anyone else, is that she is a lesbian. The only ones who knew about this is her best friend Daisy, who was very surprised and supportive, and her older brother Aaron. Aaron was very supportive when he was told by Alexis, even though that she was very hesitated to come out to her parents. But even Aaron himself had said a couple of times that they would support her. Even they might be shocked at first, but they would be supportive. But but Alexis was very hesitated to even to reveal her sexual orientation to her parents that she is a lesbian. So she hasn't even told anyone else except her best friend Daisy and her brother. Even though the school itself has a non-tolerance against bullying, regardless is a regard for type of bullying, but she still hasn't even told anyone else. But all that will eventually change. During the first day back at school, Alexis was standing by her locker with her best friend Daisy. They were just small talking about what they did during their summer break and even talked about what they think was going to happen during this year, the school year of the winter. Hey girls! Both turned around and saw was Bill. Bill was another friend of theirs, and also the other only male who knows about Alexis' secret. Hey Bill, you're late. I'm sorry, my mom had to drive me so. Yeah, I missed the school bus, so my mom drove me here. As always, said Alexis with a smile. Hey, at least I'm not the only one doing this all the time. We know that, Bill, said Daisy. So, what you been up to this summer break? The same thing. Just play video games, spend some time with my friends, and I went with my parents to visit some relatives out of town for a couple of days. Something like that, all the same thing. But I wish this summer break it could last a bit longer. So you can sleep longer in the morning, play video games all day. Something like that, said Bill agreeing. You know that we always had to go back to school eventually, said Alexis. Yeah, even though I wish we could have a little bit longer summer break, maybe a week or two. Well, maybe, but eventually soon you will have that all time that you need. Well, that means when we'll have to finish high school and go to college or university or where else. Well, if we are going to that anyway. Yeah, that's true. So, what else is going to happen today, though? Asked Bill. Uh, I don't know. Normal classes, I believe. Maybe some new information about the teachers about this upcoming school year. I don't know. Maybe about the prom or something like that. I don't know. Said Alexis. But we should have probably had to hurry to our first class before the bell started ring, said Daisy. Yeah. What about your first class, Daisy? Asked Alexis. Math. Same here, said Bill. You? English. Well, we should probably go now before the bell started ringing. But as they were about to walk, the bell did ring. Oh man, we had to hurry. Bill, I don't want to late the first day of class, said Bill and stopped running as fast as he could. Well, looks like he has fire behind his back. Both start laughing and run as fast as they class also. But when Alexis arrived to English class, she was only like a few seconds late, but the teacher didn't mind that. But as she was sitting down, there was a knock on the door. There was a principal. Ah, principal, what can I do for you? I'm sorry if I interrupted the class, sir. Oh, we hadn't even really started the class yet, but what can I do for you? Well, we have a new student here just arrived only a moment ago. And English is our first class of the day. And I would like you to introduce her to your class and make her feel welcome. Sure, absolutely, Principal. Let her in, So the principal stepped aside, and a young girl, probably around the same age as Alexis, walked in. Everyone, this is Bella. She is new here, and I will have to be hope that everyone treats her with kindness and respect as always here. And I also have one request. If there's anyone in here who's willing to show her around after class is over, and you will have permission to be late the next class though. If there's anyone willing to do so, let the teacher know. Well, that's all I can say. Sorry, I had to go. Had to take care of some documents back in the office. Thank you for that, though, principal. But after principal had left, though, so why don't you introduce yourself? And but as the girl was speaking, she was a bit quiet. She was a little bit shy. Speak up. We barely hear you, said the guy in the background. That guy was Michael. My name is Bella, and I recently moved here since my dad was transferred here for the part of the promotion. Ah, well, like the principal asked if there's anyone in here to be willing to be showing her around in the school, and I'll let you know. I can do it, said Alexis, raised her hand. Alexis, I know I can count on you. As always, you can sit behind Alexis there, so let's start with the class. Even during the class, I was a little bit shy that Bella could notice that were some students look at her a couple of times, but she wasn't even worried much about it. After class was over, both Bella and Alexis stood in the hallway as the others went to the next class. So your name is Bella, right? Yeah, my name is Alexis. So I know what it's like to be new in a new high school. Well, you know that. So, well, don't waste more time here, so I can start to show you around. All right. So Alexis showed her around the different parts of school, like where the cafeteria is, where the math class gonna be, gym class, the principal's office, and the nurse office, and the other places that might be important to remember. But they down and said, "I will see you maybe in the cafeteria. I can introduce you to some of my friends." Yeah, I will like that. So during a lunch break, Bella walked into the cafeteria. She was nervous and looking around when she noticed heard a voice behind in front of her. Bella, over here! But it was Alexis. Bella walked over to her and saw that she was by a table with two other people. Bella, this is my friend Bill and my best friend Daisy. Hello. Hi. So you're Bella. Yeah. So why don't you sit down? Said Bill with a smile. So, what do you think about the school so far? It's just like a typical high school, said Bella with a smirk. Yeah, that's can I not argue though, said Bill. So you were transferred here? Well, kinda. My dad actually got promoted, so he was promoted and was transferred to this town since he was offered a position as a manager at his office here as part of promotion. So you must be missed your friends back home, said Bill. Not really. I barely had any friends back home. Why? Asked Daisy. I was bullied a lot back home. Oh man, that sucks, said Bill. Did you tell anyone? Like a teacher, parent, principal, anyone? I tried, but not much happened, said Bella back. I tried to call the prince, told my parents, but they said that maybe just your classmates are just goofing around. But I told them in the end how much I didn't like that, and my parents, they felt a bit upset, not against me, but where how the school didn't do anything to take care of the problem. But my dad told us that we didn't have to worry much about it since I'm going to be transferred to new high school and by the end of the summer since we are moving. So yeah, that's all what happened when we moved here, said Bella. Well, at least you have some new friends here though, said Bill. And since this school actually has a non-bullying tolerance policy, said Bill back again. Wait, really? Yeah, it does. Even though there are had been bullying around, but not much serious problem. Well, except for one person, said Bill. Who? It was signing up for Michael, said Daisy. Michael? Yeah, Michael is the only one in the school who is the main bully. And so far, no one actually has even dared to stand up against him at all. Wow, that sucks. Yeah, you told us that. You told me that, said Bill. If there was anyone who can tell him to just back off or anything, well, some may have tried, but not what I know of, said Bill. Well, you remember the guy who was part of school who was left last year? Said Daisy. Now you speak of that, I remember. What happened? Daisy, you make a tell her. Well, last year there was a guy here around the same age as us. We barely knew as much, but he was not really shy guy like us though. He was willing to have friends, but he was targeted by Michael as a lot, calling him bad names or anything. But wasn't that the policy around? In fact, it was. So eventually he couldn't stand anymore, so he just dropped out of school. And the last I heard, he moved out of town as well with his family. Wow, that sucks and terrible. Yeah, you name it, said Alexis. Well, maybe one day Michael can just stop doing that, said Daisy. Well, if anyone tells me against to stop it, though. Yeah, true, said Daisy. Rest of the day, everything went as normal. But it was until after school was over when Daisy was standing, Alexis was standing by the sidewalk when she noticed Bella. She walked up to Bella and asked, "Are you waiting for your parents?" "Yeah, I'm supposed to wait for my mom, but apparently she is not coming." "Well, if you want, I can ask my mom to drive us home. Or drive you home." Like, seriously? Yeah, I don't think she had minded that. At just that moment, Bella's Alexis' mom actually drew up in the sideway. So Alexis walked up to her and asked if it was possible they can give a lift home for Bella. Her mom didn't mind though, because it wasn't that far away from they're supposed to be from their distance. After they dropped off at Bella, Bella gave her phone number to Alexis if she wanted to maybe talk something. So for the next couple of days, Bella actually made a new few friends back in school. But soon, eventually all came to back to end. Because one day during this, just after a couple of weeks, Bella was sitting in the cafeteria by herself since the others has been. She was waiting for Alexis, Daisy, and Bill. But as she was sitting there, she was just walking up, sitting there. Suddenly, she heard someone walking up to her, and she thought maybe it was one of her new friends. But she turned around and said, "Alex," but never finished the sentence. "Ha! So you are sitting here on your own," said Michael. "No, I'm waiting for my friends." "Oh, who? Bill, Daisy, and Alexis?" "Ha! So you're really waiting for them?" "Don't bother. They had already had a lunch." "No, they are supposed to be here soon." "Well, they're all a little eating," said Michael with a grin. "I don't believe you." So you won't believe me, you lesbian girl?" Bella was stunned. How did he even know that she was a lesbian? She hadn't even told anyone that she was a lesbian. The only one who knew about it was her. The only one who knew about that was actually her older brother Connor. What are you saying? I know you're a lesbian. Don't deny it," said Michael, but agreeing again a little bit loudly. "Stop it," said Bella back a bit angry. "I don't care what you say. You're a lesbian. And you're probably dating Alexis or Daisy. Or maybe both." said like Michael with laughter. Stop it! How dare you even assume me that? Excuse me, but you have no right to say that. Oh yeah? And who will stop me? I will, said someone, and he turned around and saw Bill and even Alexis. Michael, this is far enough. How dare you to bully her because she's a new? For what? Because if she's a lesbian, that doesn't have nothing you have to be bothered about. She hasn't even bothered you. Oh yeah. Oh you of all people. You're probably gay yourself. Bill was stunned but even angry. But he knew if he tried to do anything to fight Michael, he'd also end up in trouble. But Alexis said, you know, assuming if someone is if into some people at other gender or the same, that is nothing you have to be bothered about. Don't you think that? And even if Bella is lesbian, how can you even stand there to say that? Knowing this school has no tolerance policy against bullying. And you are the bully! Ha! You know this is just fun to make fun of other people, said Michael with a grin. You know, Michael, the only one here is making us a fool yourself is yourself. Look around you. And Michael did, and other people looked at him. What are you looking at? Well, it's true. I saw her talking to some guy when she mentioned that she is a lesbian. But people didn't say anything, except for a few other students. Well, Michael, even if this girl is a lesbian, we don't bother for that. This school doesn't even have anything against that. But Michael said, well, even if she is a lesbian, she's probably secret dating Alexis the whole time. She's probably have a crush on her. Stop it! Said Bella angrily and started crying. What? Oh, you're crying now, you're crying, baby, said Michael, as Bella stood up. Stop it! You can't assume people to like another because am I a lesbian? I could like someone else. Oh, so you do have a crush on someone. Who is it? Daisy? Alexis? Michael said with a grin. Stop it! She started to push him. Oh, you want to angry now. And then he pushed her back but then, I don't care what you say, Michael. You are a bully loser. Me, loser? Ha! You're the only one that's a loser here, Bella. Or, actually, Belle Lesbian? The Belle? You know, the lesbian bell. Hello? Ringing a bell? But Michael didn't stop there. Suddenly, everyone in the cafeteria stood up and told them to just back off, or they what? Or what? None of you had the balls enough to do anything to stop me. No? You know the school has against the bullying? What you're doing now is way too far, said Alexis and Bill at the same time. I don't care. The principal won't do anything to stop this. So just stop though, said Bella back. How dare you not to say back at me? You lesbian girl. You're a waste of time. Then he tried to push her. But stop it, said Alexis more angrily. How dare you? Because she's a girl, because she is a lesbian? How dare you to even assuming anyone else anything else? But Michael just stopped laughing, laughing and laughing. You don't even care about her at all. You only think her as a girl because she's cute, and you never even had the balls on even to be with someone like her. She's still ugly, ugly nerd girl. But that made it. Everything went silent. How dare you? Said Alexis. How dare you? Oh yeah? You know hers are just so too weak to be anyone? Ask them. He turned around and pushed Bella hard this time, and she fell backwards, hit her head right in the corner of the table, and fell to the ground. Bella! No! Said everyone. Someone actually ran up to her and looked after her, but she was unconscious. And they saw noticed blood. Michael saw it and he just said, "Ha! I told you! She's weak!" But then everyone started surrounding them. But then, suddenly, Alexis just lost it. You know, Michael, if she dies, that is on you. Ha! Do you think I would even care? And I would just say, because someone else had done it. We have witnesses here. Oh yeah. If any of you ever done anything, tell anyone about this truth, I will bully you as well, said Michael loudly. But then, suddenly, the silence broke again. The silence broke when suddenly a strong male voice in the background just yelled out, "Michael!" And everyone turned around and saw there was a principal. It turns out, this color disturbance was happening in the cafeteria. One student actually had ran to the principal's office to inform him what just happened. This student also mentioned that he saw Bella hit the table with her head backwards. Michael, this is enough! Come here right now! And Michael's face went pale. All his bravery that in had, the brave felt brave, just went out the window. It was just a joke? That is not a joke, said the principal and pointed at the girl Bella. You, right here, right now. And Michael just stood there. If you don't come over here right now, I will have to call for help. And also, your parents had been informed. Sorry, Principal, but it's a joke, said Michael back, crying a little this time. Come here right now, or I'll drag you to my office. Then everyone just stood away, and Michael went to the principal with his head down. He just walked beside the principal and everyone afterwards. But then suddenly the principal turned around and said, Alexis? Yeah? Don't worry, an ambulance has been called. And I understood what you did. Try to defend your friend. I'm proud to call you as a student. Thank you, Principal. Shortly afterwards, but before that, after the principal left, some ambulance personnel walked in and took Bella on a stretcher to the house ambulance outside. Several students actually stood outside and saw what happened. I can't believe it, Michael actually did that, said Bill. Yeah, me either. That's insane, said Daisy. He went too far this time, said Alexis quietly. Don't worry, I don't think anything serious happened to her, said Bill. I hope so, because I can't believe that it's so like to hurt her like that, said Alexis. I I can't stand it anymore, said Alexis, and just turned around, walked to her locker, picked her backpack, and just left. Wait, where you going? I'm going home. But you can't just leave. Please, tell the principal and the next teacher I have I just went home. and they probably understood, and she just walked away. Her parents was even home, except her older brother. Aaron was sitting actually in his on the couch when he suddenly heard the door open. Alexis? Well, you're home. The school is sitting in over for a couple of hours. But Alexis didn't say a word. She didn't even look at her on her brother. She was walked up to her room, closed the door. Aaron was stunned. After all, school wasn't even over in a couple of hours. So, as his brother's duty, walked up to her room, knocked on the door, but no answer. Alexis, can I come in, please? But there was no answer. But he walked in anyways. He saw that Alexis sat on her bed, crying. Alexis, what happened? You tell me what happened, please. But she didn't look at her brother. He just continued to cry. What happened? But Alexis refused to even say a word. So he decided to leave her alone because he didn't want to force her to tell him exactly. Before he left, Alexis, if you want to talk, you know you can find me. Just, I'll let you know that. But she didn't say a word, but he knew that she understood. The next couple of hours went normally. Around 7 p.m., when both parents came home, they saw that her brother was a little bit disturbed what just happened. Is something wrong, Aaron? Asked her mom. Um, well, there is one thing but I don't know what happened. What is it? Said his dad. Alexis came home a couple of hours before the school was over. What? That's not unlike her, said Ella, dear mom. What happened? Said their dad again. I don't know. She just came home blank faced, and when I got to her room, she started crying. Well, at least she was crying, but she didn't say a word what happened. I tried to ask her what happened, but she cried. Has she even left the room? No, she hasn't even been there. She had been there since she came home, said Aaron. Her mom walked up to the room, knocked on the door. She tried to talk to her, but no word at all. Her dad tried, but nothing. This is serious. So Bella's mom walked down in the kitchen, called to Daisy's mom to ask her if she had heard anything happen in school. But Daisy was called on the phone because her mother that didn't know much either. So, Daisy, please tell me what happened in school today. Since Alexis came home earlier than she normally unlike she does. Uh-huh. What? No way. Seriously? That happened? In the school cafeteria? Both Alexis' dad and brother looked at her. Wait, so after that, she just took off from school? Uh huh, uh huh. Okay, thank you for letting me know though. After she hung up the phone, so what happened at the school? Asked Aaron. It turns out one of the students by name Michael but had been bullying another girl by the name Bella, I believe, and he pushed her so hard she fell backwards in the corner of the table and hit her head and lost consciousness. He was taken to the principal's office and she ended up in the hospital, but that was all that she told me. Unbelievable, said the dad. Michael. It turns out that Michael was well known within their family because Alexis had mentioned that Michael had been a bully to a few other students in their school. But nothing has been that this serious at this. But Aaron said, well, at least one thing we can say for certain though. Michael is expelled from the school and he might be end up in juvenile hall for this. Yeah, because none of this is acceptable, said her mom. But then suddenly she walked up to Alexis' room again, knocked on the door. Alexis, can I come in? But no word. She walked in and she closed the door behind her. And she said, Alexis, I know what happened. Alexis looked up. She had stopped crying after several hours. Daisy explained to me, and she told me how you stood up for this girl, Bella. I'm proud of you. But what Michael did, it crossed the line. And I also find out from Daisy where Bella has been taken. If you want, I can take you there by tomorrow to ask for if it's possible to see her. Are you sure, Mom? Yeah, I can call the principal, inform him that you won't be able to go to school tomorrow because what happened. And I'm sure he understands. Thanks. So, are you hungry for anything? Oh, Leo, you know what? I'll ask your brother to come up with some food for you. Thanks. So, but the next day, early next morning, Alexis called the school, informed the principal that Alexis won't be in for a couple of days because she has some time to think of what happened. And he had completely understand. After that, both Alexis and her mom went to the local hospital, asked for where the location were in the room where Bella was located. They told her. They went to the next floor where she found her. But in the room, both Bella's parents was there. Oh, excuse me, is this Bella's room? Asked her mom. Yes, can we help you with something? Asked her dad. Yeah, my daughter goes to the same school as your daughter Bella, and she was in the cafeteria trying to defend her. Wait, that girl Alexis? Yeah, isn't she here? She's outside the room. And then suddenly Alexis walked in, sadly looked. Alexis, we are very grateful to have you here and happy to tell you that we are so proud to have someone like you to helping our daughter. But how is she? The doctor said that she will make it too, but she hasn't been waking up yet. But she will eventually, in a couple of days, they believe. Can I try to talk to her? Bella's mom nodded, and the old others just left. Alexis sat down next to her, seeing her in the images on the bed, hooked up to some machines like to break her heart. But she said, Bella, there is no words to how to express how I felt for what happened. But what Michael did went too far. This is way too far as has said done ever before. I'm just I'm so worried that to lose you. You know, for the past couple of weeks when we had got to know each other, I actually saw a different person within you. Not because of your personality, but someone who is more kind, very energetic person. And the fact is, for the past 2, 3 weeks, I have been having a crush on you. In fact, I'm also as a lesbian. The only ones who knew about it was my older brother, Bill, and of course, Daisy. And now you. I mean, I have no idea how I would tolerate if I lost you. Please, if you can hear me, please wake up. I just can't see you lost to lose you as well. And then she left the room. For the next couple of days, Alexis, she was very on the edge of crying. She was waiting for any update from about Bella's condition, if she's never going to wake up, or if she's even ill. But after about almost a week, she received a message from Bella's mom informing her Bella had woken up. She was very happy to hear that. But the doctor said that she won't be able to go back to school for the next couple of weeks because that injury was nearly could have been fatal if it has any more serious impact. But she was allowed to go back home, and Bella had no didn't mind if Alexis came by to see her. During that time, Alexis was worried if she would have lost her friend. But when she came over the first time after that, Bella was allowed to go home. She said, Alexis, I had something to tell you. Oh? You remember when you were in the hospital the same day when you find out, yeah, I kinda heard you almost every single word. Oh? Even even what I said about you have a crush on me? Yeah, I heard that. And Lexi started blushing, and she tried to hide her face behind the cap she was wearing. Don't hide it. You know, I'm actually have a crush on you as well. Wait, seriously? Yeah. I mean, you really are someone who will treat me with so much respect, and I cannot understand anyone else like you. And if you're willing, as soon as I am well enough, how about we go on a date, you and me? Alexis was stunned, but she said yes. Even though they weren't not sure exactly when they believed would go on their first date, it can be in a couple of days, it can be in at least another 2 weeks. But Alexis came up with an idea. How about if they had the first date at Bella's home? They could be watch some movie together and maybe have some dinner at her place. Parent, Bella's parents said that was not a bad idea. After all, they could themselves go on a date night. So they decided to go on to have the first date within the next week or so. So on a Friday, both Bella's parents went off to their date night. Alexis came over. They cooked some dinner and had together and watched a comedy movie. And even though this was their first official date, even they were had expected maybe go out on a date. But they didn't care as long as they had each other near. If they were be at home or out on a date, they didn't care. It didn't even take long before everyone at the school were aware that Alexis were a lesbian. And now he was dating Bella. Everyone at school was actively supportive, including the principal, teachers, you name it. Everyone. When Alexis came out to her parents, they were also supportive, especially what happened with Bella. But one day when both Bella and Alexis came back to school after a couple of weeks, Bella asked, does anyone know what happened to Michael? I'm just curious though. Are you still worried about him? Said Bill. No, I'm just curious to know what happened to him. Well, he ended up in juvenile hall for some reason, which I didn't expect. Well, we'll expect what happened, said Bill. Yeah, even though he might be out soon, but who knows? I mean, he'd barely to get what he deserved. I mean, he could have killed you as well, said Daisy. Yeah, I wouldn't even let that happen though, said Alexis, smiling, gave Bella a kiss on the cheek. Hey, nothing during a lunch break. What? Everyone here is really supportive to us. I know, but warn me next time. Their relationship remains strong though. Because during that time, both Alexis and Bella had only grown stronger in their relationship. Went on many dates, movie dates, dinner dates, just all kinds of things that they did together. And after they finished high school, both actually went to the same college in town, a community college. They were just wanting to continue the studying and something like that. Bella, she loved to work with animals. She loved animals ever since she was a kid. She was even found there was a pet store in town that was made. She wondered if they was hiring people, and they did. She was hired. And Alexis, she was working. She wanted to be a teacher. She wasn't sure unless an elementary teacher or middle school teacher or even high school. But as a principal at their old high school heard of this, he actually had offered her a position as a teacher at their old high school. At first, she was a little hesitant to take the position, but she actually accepted. And even then, she was very well liked. Everyone at the school knew who exactly Alexis were due to her bravery back in those when she was in high school. But one day, all things was gonna change because one day the principal announced he is retiring. There were a lot of discussions who would be taking over as the position as the principal, but the principal did announce his suggestions for as his successor. To all amazing, he had nominated Alexis to be the new principal. That shocked her more than anything. Because when she was informed, me be the new principal? Seriously? The old principal said, yes, I have seen you when you were in school as a student. Seeing you how you uphold all the principles that schools standing for against non-tolerance of bullying, everything. And I seen you as a teacher, seeing how everyone likes his teachings. Your outgoing personality. So I was recommended you to be the next principal. And the community had accepted the offer. And you are going to be the new principal within the next 2 weeks. I, I don't know what to say, and I feel honored. And Alexis did accept the offer. So next 2 more weeks, the old principal showed her some new things how to run at school. And sure enough, after 2 weeks, they had a small ceremony on the Friday in the gym hall, the gym class hall, to have this announcement that the old principal is retiring and he was handing over the position to the new principal, Alexis. Even though Alexis kept in touch with the old principal for some time to time to see how he's been doing since when he later moved to Florida with his wife. Alexis and Bella, their relationship afterwards just became unreal, unrealistic. But Alexis, she was happy to have made her future unbelievable to her. That she wasn't even expected to be chosen to be the new principal. But she loved it. But after about 5 years, she proposed to Bella, and Bella said yes immediately. They had a small wedding in a local church. They invited just close friends and close family. Both sides of the families was just happy to see them get married. But after about 5 years, after 4 years of being married, both decided they want to have a family. So, but they had no idea what to do, except Bill. He offered to be as a donor for them both, and Alexis chose to be pregnant first, and she gave birth to a baby girl, which she named Jenny. And Bella, 3 years later, was became pregnant and she had a baby boy which they named Bill, after the godfather Bill. After all of this, Alexis, many years earlier, was a closely secret that she was a lesbian. The only ones who knew about it was her best friend Daisy, Bill, and her older brother Aaron. But now, eventually, the whole school knew, and she found her true love within Bella. The new girl was transferred. Bella, a shy girl, who was also a lesbian, but she never told anyone except her older brother Connor. Everyone else had no idea. And especially when Michael when Michael pushed Bella against a table, it could have lost she could have cost her life. But Alexis was really happy that Bella made it. After she admitted, opened up, expressed her feelings towards Bella when she was in the hospital, even not knowing if Bella would even hear her words or all, but she was happy that she heard. Not only that Bella found a true love within Alexis, a girl that she loved more than anything at all. And this is how Bella and Alexis found a true love, got a family together. The end.